Hello and welcome to the St Kilda and Bayside Report. We are in April 2018. My name is Gary Peer.
And mine is Jeremy Rosens. It always
is
has
indeed.
been, probably always will be.
I don't think you're going to change it. I don't think so. It's too late.
You
for that
say
now.
April, Gary, but
yeah,
wow,
it's almost May, isn't it?
it feels like spring's in the air, Gary. You can see some blue skies over there. It's nice and warm.
How's the weather been, eh? Today's a sunny day. A couple of days ago it was pouring rain, cold. What's going on with
Melbourne,
that?
Gary, it's Melbourne. As I get older, I'm starting to understand why
Yeah.
everybody bags the Melbourne weather.
Exactly. Well, I was
But
in
I
Sydney.
still defend Melbourne
You have to,
vehemently.
although I was in Sydney last week, 34 degrees. Came back to Melbourne, 12 degrees for 2 days.
Yeah, well, you know, there's one problem with Sydney, Gary. It's got a lot of people from Sydney there.
Hey, talking about Sydney, I
Yeah.
don't think you should be too critical because you were just there in Sydney.
I
I'm
was
not
there.
mistaken.
It was
You were
warm
there
then too, Gary.
Yeah,
I was
now
there.
you like it now that you've been flown up and
okay.
wined and dined and entertained by
I
Suncorp.
wouldn't go
and-
that far, Gary. I didn't sit quite in the Gary Peer chair on the plane.
Oh, you were in the upper echelon of
No, it was about,
of Sydney real estate.
oh,
Hoi polloi. Tell us
certainly
about
was.
what was going on there. What happened
Gary,
there?
interesting.
We've got the
I
images
was,
to show on the
yeah,
screen.
we've probably got some images. It sounds like they're coming for us right now, Gary. So
I thought
yeah, I was
stuck in the back way. I'd get away with
yeah,
it. But
you
go
can't,
on.
Gary.
Yeah.
They know where you are because you've got that
Yep.
GPS thing around your ankle. Ever since that thing back in '82.
You said you wouldn't bring that up.
And we won't. Suncorp. I did a
Tell
talk
us
for the
about it.
people of Suncorp in
Yes.
Sydney. I was
you were
invited up
there
there with Nicole Jacobs,
Yes.
buyer agent or buyer advocate extraordinaire.
She's a wonderful lady.
Famous for the
Aye.
block.
And famous for watching GP. Wouldn't miss an episode of this
Never does, never
GPTV
does.
St
A
Kilda
big
Bayside.
shout out to Nicole, who's no
Yep.
doubt watching this. And also Ronnie and Georgia from the block, and it was
Yeah.
hosted, Gary, by one of my favourites, Peter Stefanovic, or as I like to refer to him as, Pete.
Now I want yeah, Pete,
Best
and I'm
mates.
sure he loves hearing
Loved
that
it.
from
We
you.
had a great time.
Now I want to know about this because I always look for the controversy. Ronnie and Georgia were the opposition, so here you are. You're representing, of course, Jason and Sarah.
Yes.
Yet you've gone and sat on a panel with Ronnie and Georgia.
I
Did they actually put something in your coffee when you turned around? Did they kick you under the table?
They didn't. They spoke.
Yeah.
Well, it's
actually
very
very
difficult,
nice,
Gary,
aren't
as
they?
to where I play this. But
Yeah.
again, it's just I mean,
So
they
you're
were
torn.
lovely people,
Yeah.
and on the show they were made out to be not so lovely
The
people.
block's over. You can
They
talk
were very
about that.
upset about what had happened, and I don't think
Yes.
they were overly excited or the
How much
discussions
did they
around
make? How much
there-
do they make on the block?
Couldn't tell you, not a lot.
What do you mean couldn't tell you? You were on
Maybe
the block.
$110,000.
And how much did our clients make?
Oh, over close to 400,000, Gary.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, they were quite
Yeah.
they were, I guess, politically correct, Gary. I would say that they were certainly impressed with Jason and Sarah's agent selection.
fair enough. Very politically incorrect there, Jeremy. But so
They
it
did
was-
say if they're back on,
so
they'll
what was it all
invite us
about?
as their
What's
agent.
going on there?
We were just talking about the auction process, Gary. The auction process that we're pretty well known for in Melbourne. They wanted us to come and talk to the Sydney siders
Yep.
about how to do it. And Nicole was talking about how to buy at auction, so
Yep.
we were at loggerheads the whole time, but it was
Very
good
good.
fun. It actually was streamed live on Facebook. They thought they'd
Can you
get
still, if
10,000
someone wants to
people.
see it, can you still see it or not?
Probably, if you go to
Okay.
www.suncorp something something /
Okay.
something something,
That's
you'll
very
probably find it
descriptive.
somewhere. I
You're
don't
very
know.
helpful there. Great.
Yeah.
Great one for detail, Mr. Roses.
Always have been.
Let's get away from there.
Let's talk about
yeah.
what's happening in the market, Gary.
I love where we are right here. I'm
Well, we'll
so
get to
excited.
that. Let's
Okay.
not spoil the occasion, Gary.
I wanted to jump the gun.
You always do,
Yeah,
Gary.
I know that. But anyway,
Just
let's
goes
talk
to show
about
you, quick
let's
off the
go-
mark.
Quick off the mark, quick to start, quick to finish. But let's talk about some of the properties that we've sold, Mr. Rosens.
Let's talk about it,
We've
Gary.
sold some
'Cause,
beauties.
last month we filmed in Dickens Street, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
did,
Was
and that
Dickens Street, that
wonderful
beautiful
one.
older style.
Hey, we've just got another apartment a couple of doors down. I don't think it's on the report there.
No,
but
not yet,
yeah.
Gary, because the ink is yet but dry on the authority.
But if you want a good apartment in Dickens Street, Elwood, we've got one. You
We've
can
got
call
plenty of
Michael
them, Gary.
Jonas.
We've got plenty of them. We've
Okay.
got a fantastic one. But
Talk
that
to us
one,
about our
Gary,
sales.
at 7 and 25 competitive bidding, Peter Sinclair.
Yeah.
Was that his first auction for Gary Peer and
Peter
Associates?
Sinclair.
It was his
and
first
latest
auction for us.
acquisition
but
in terms
wow,
of talent.
What
Yeah.
an auctioneer.
Very good
He
auctioneer.
dragged that out for days.
Well done,
eventual
Peter.
selling price $482,000 for a one-bedroom, one-bathroom, Gary,
Yep.
and no car space. That is
How much was that?
a great price. $482,000.
482 for one bedroom apartment with no parking. That's what you're paying now in Elwood.
That's
folks.
Elwood. That's Elwood.
By the way, I'm going to go right off line here.
Yes.
You did talk about Peter Sinclair. It's probably very fair and reasonable to talk about what's going on in the network. We have opened up a Bentley office.
We have, Gary.
So we're going to have a Bentley show. We haven't had our first one yet, but we're going to have a
No.
Bentley show. So we've got the Carnegie Report, the St Kilda Bayside Report, the GPTV Weekly. We've got Bentley. We've got
Oh, I
the
think we
adults
should do,
only
Gary.
view, the after hours. We've
Ooh,
got the
look
cocktail
out.
evening views. We've got the swimsuit
Soon, I
edition.
think, Yeah. We should probably have our own Netflix series, Gary.
I think we should. But congratulations to Leon Guzenfitter and his team, and welcome to Peter Sinclair, who's joined us.
And the whole team at Bentley, Gary.
Yeah,
I've got to say, I feel a little bit
Jody.
responsible for Leon because it was me that brought him into the company. I interviewed him to be
Is it like,
to work
do you have
with
an
me.
Amway system where you get an
Well, I do
ongoing
take a
commission
clip of
for-
everything from here on for Leon's whole
good.
entire real estate life. So thanks, Leon, for that.
Right? Good
But
on you.
let's digress
Does
a little
he remember
bit.
that? Is he grateful to you
Oh,
for that?
absolutely, he
Yeah,
remembers
good.
it because every day
Yeah.
I tell him exactly
Good.
how he came on board.
Good on him anyway.
But I only got him in, Gary. I didn't
Yeah.
teach him how to be brilliant, and he's brilliant, and he's a great real estate agent and a
He
good
is.
person too.
He is, and congratulations to Leon and all of the team over there. And even though we're in Kilda Bayside, we pay homage to Bentley and we get back on track.
Homage, Gary. Homage.
Homage.
35 Evelyn Street. The girls, Nikki, Janiver, and Limor.
You can't stop those girls.
You
They're
cannot.
on fire.
You
They're
cannot.
girls on fire. Hot.
$1,140,000 hot real
How
estate.
much was that?
Gary, hot real estate they're selling.
140.
Let's not get to that level when we talk about.
Charnwood Road is a good
Yes,
address.
it is. It's
Sold for?
Charnwood Road sold for a price, Gary, that we can't talk about.
Oh, okay.
But I can tell you that
I
we had a
don't think
range
it's-
of 550 to 6, and we sold it in that range, albeit toward the upper end of
Okay.
the
You
proceedings.
just okay. We've got sort of said the price, but not really.
Sort
Go
of,
on. Yeah.
sort of. But
okay.
then we went down to the Avenue, Gary, and this was fun.
Girls on the Avenue.
Well, I've got to tell you, I
Yep.
made special comment at this auction about how good looking this audience was.
Yep.
I've got to say, this was
Do you
one of
think
the
that-
best
do you
looking
think
crowds
that,
I've seen.
Enamoured the audience to be more attracted to you, or do you think they still just thought you're just a real estate agent?
I think they still think I'm as pathetic as I was before I started, although
Fair
one thing
enough.
they will say is that I got a very good price together with Daniel for our
Yeah,
vendors.
well done.
Because that sold, Gary, near enough, in fact, $100,000
Yep.
over the vendor's reserve price, which we thought was actually $90,000.
So how much did it sell for?
$730 was the reserve, $820, so $90,000, not $100. I'm
wanna
prone
talk
to
about-
just exaggerating a touch.
So viewers want to know what's hot, Mr. Rosens.
In the real estate
Apartments,
market, yeah.
Apartments with courtyards are red hot,
Walking
white hot,
out the
aren't
door,
they?
Gary,
We've got the one. This one we've just sold now in
Yep.
the Avenue.
Yep.
Red hot, 100,000 over reserve or
Yes.
close enough to it.
One bedroom in
one bedroom in Estar Road
Yes.
near the racecourse, sold for like $80,000 over
Yes,
reserve. $440,000 now for one bedroom with a courtyard. It's unbelievable, isn't it? There's some hot real estate, and I think they're going to continue to be hot, and I think they're still good buys. Courtyard
Absolutely,
apartments. That's
absolutely.
my
And
say
you
on
can't
that.
go wrong because if you think about a block of flats, Gary,
Yep.
they're normally 3 or 4 levels.
They are.
And which means only a select few occupy the ground level,
Indeed.
which means they are somewhat of a rarity courtyard apartments.
They are indeed. Move on to your next sale that you want to talk
16
about.
at 45 to 47 Hotham Street. That is a block that we have had quite a love affair with,
Yes.
Gary. We've been part of about 10 or more sales in that block.
My
Joel
darling
Sir-
daughter called it Hot Ham Street, but I don't think there's a lot of ham in that street.
I wouldn't have thought so,
No.
Gary.
Not
I
known for
wouldn't
its
have
ham.
thought so. Not,
Hotham.
not at all.
But
anyway,
600.
competitively bid for that
Yeah.
one and sold for 621 again, significantly above the reserve price, Gary.
Plenty happening in St Kilda.
Those are the results, Gary.
we just, mate, we were on fire.
Do you like
also.
that David Letterman
I loved
gig?
it. I
Yeah.
loved it. Except he throws it behind him and it has some.
Yeah,
Yours just
and
fell
I
flat.
actually-
Although you've got a good
I just
throwing
gave
arm.
myself a paper
cut.
cut.
You've got a good throwing arm.
I
It's
do,
one thing
Gary,
about-
I
Hey,
do.
I just want to talk about Hyatt, the suburb.
Hyatt.
Right out of. It's not on script. It's not
Right out of left field,
but
Gary.
How about Hyatt? We're doing deals in Hyatt.
Forget how about Hyatt. How about Michael Jonas in Hyatt?
I know he's like the mayor of Hyatt.
He is.
Michael Jones. He's selling everything there at the moment. But we've had a couple of good sales there.
Well, we had
That's
a
another
townhouse
one.
sale that sold above reserve, which
Yeah.
Michael handled, I got to say, with a plum.
Yes.
Is that right to say
Well,
that?
where was the plum?
Uh,
Or are you talking like you have a plum? But Hyatt, hot. So if you want to know
Hyatt.
hot, apartments or courtyards, properties in Hyatt.
Townhouses
And-
in Hyatt, Gary, because he listed another one off the back
Yeah, I
of
know.
it. Sold it within 24 hours, Gary, not 48,
freakish.
not 72, 24
Can we
hours.
talk about where we are yet or not? Or am I going
Do you know what?
without
I
a
think
border?
it's probably fair to talk.
Yeah.
In fact, there is something
on.
I want to tell you about, Gary, after you tell us where we are. So viewers, if you're about to tune out, stay tuned because
Yeah.
something very funny happened to me today.
Yeah, I heard about that just briefly on the run, but haven't heard details that I'll get from you now. But Jeremy, I'm looking out here in Dundas Place, which is one of the best addresses in the entire
Albert Park, Gary.
state of Victoria.
Albert
We're in
Park.
Albert Park. The actual address is Ferrars Street, which is on the other side.
394, Gary.
394 Ferrars Street. Michael Jonas again. It's the Michael Jonas show this week. He's listed and he's handling this sale. And Philip Kingston. You couldn't keep him out of here because
Couldn't.
we sold one here before. Remember in Dundas
We
Place,
did. And
that
even
went through the
though
roof.
he offended gee, near enough to 30% of the audience.
Took us
He's
3
been
years to get-
invited back.
3 years later, the commotions died down. But this is the most phenomenal property. It's got a cellar here. It's got the most amazing floor plan.
tell you what
It's
it does
historic.
have,
It was
Gary.
built in the 1800s.
It has a
Yeah.
staircase
Yes.
like I've never seen,
Yeah.
and an archway, a door archway into the kitchen area
Yes.
that is nothing short of architectural genius.
This is cool with a capital K. It is an outstanding property. We're very excited about it.
I don't even know where to go with cool with a capital K,
Fair
but now that we're in the year 2017, I think we spell cool with the C. That's
that
if
right?
we spell it at all, because we don't really say cool anymore. But Gary, this is as good as it gets, and Michael Jonas is
I come
pumped.
from a different time.
Yes.
Yeah, cool with cigarettes. You could advertise them on
Probably
TV.
best that you potentially look to go back to that time.
What else have we got coming up, Mr.
Gary,
Roses?
25 Sidwell Avenue, we've got
Oh,
this
that's a good address.
beautiful town residence,
Let's have a
Gary,
look at
and
it.
if you just move your hands to the side,
Let's have a little
we can
look at it.
snake our
Oh,
way
I
through to
know
that one,
this.
because
Do
that
you
is
know-
style and substance
I
just
remember
there, Gary.
when it was built. This is close to the corner, or actually at the corner of Inkerman
Inkerman,
Road.
that's
and
correct,
this
Gary.
this is and was a stunning property when it was designed, Jeremy. Take us through
I'll
this
tell you what it does
fantastic
have,
property, yeah.
Gary. It has a very flexible floor plan, because it's got 4 bedrooms, study areas, lounge dinings, garages, meals areas, beautifully designed kitchen areas as well. Fronting onto Sidwell Avenue, Gary, so it's like being a little bit down Sidwell Avenue, so you can get the corner of Inkerman, but it's 145 to 155, Gary. And this one is going to auction.
It's a great property.
On the 29th of April at 12:30
I
p.m.
know that building. It's a beautiful property.
We
Get
do,
down and
it's a
check
good
it
one.
out. Hey, Orange Grove. Don't get much better than that. Great address.
It's a juicy address, Gary.
It's a very juicy
Thought I'd get in
address.
there before you come up with that
Nice, I
schmaltz
like
that
it.
you
You've been
talk.
hanging around me too long, that's for sure. I've rubbed off on you, sadly so.
Well, better off than on.
You'd be free to miss out on this one, folks.
You would
11
be.
Orange Grove. Come and check this out.
This is a
It's
very quirky
wonderful
home,
property.
Gary. This
Yeah.
is
Being sold with
on
a very
good-sized
quirky
block.
agent.
Yes,
Just
I
wanna
don't
say.
think you should talk about Daniel that way, but
Go on.
I've known this owner for a very long time, because he used to live up the road from me, and I saw his
Yep.
previous home
I
in
know, I remember
Caulfield.
that, you did.
Saturday, the 5th of May at 11:30. 1-4. Where are we going here? I'm looking at the wrong price guide here, Gary. This is going to be around 1.7, a little bit more.
Yes.
It is a freestanding home with 3 or 4 bedrooms and a cleverly designed space, lots of living areas, and ready to walk straight into, Gary, and start living architectural flair.
Great address,
Yes.
quality real estate,
Yes.
very excited. Before we go on,
Yes.
I want to talk about this next apartment, and I see that there's no lift in this building, and I bring that up because I heard that there has been a
Do you know,
lift
whenever
incident.
there's a Bayside TV episode
Yeah.
on,
Always
something
something
goes
stupid
wrong.
happens to
Someone
you-
smashed
with you.
my car
I know.
at one time.
I remember that.
Anyway, I sold a house for a friend/client of mine a couple of months ago. He bought a new property in Paran, a very cool place over 4
Yeah.
levels. So I went around there today to have a bit of a look at it, and we jumped in the elevator, and I said, "Oh, let's go over and have a look." And anyway, there's sensors everywhere. He said, "Oh, don't, whatever you do, don't touch that." And that's like waving a red flag to a bull. So what do? I touch what I shouldn't have
Really?
touched, and the elevator stopped mid-floor, Gary, mid-floor. That's
a lot,
okay.
yeah.
We can cope. It's not a big space, but we can cope. We've got our mobile phones.
Is this in a block of apartments?
No,
or
no,
a
this is just in
particular
his
home?
house,
Oh, wow.
which the
Okay.
doors are locked,
Oh, boy.
and he's got the
Go
key in his hand. Yeah, so we're pressing buttons, nothing happening. We open up the little thing, and then there's a phone. So we ring the elevator company. They kind of, I don't know, they didn't do a hell of a lot. Not a lot going up and down in those shops there, Gary. They didn't know what to do. They were going to send a technician down from Werribee.
Oh, great.
So that was good. And then we had to think about how we were going to get out of here. And
How
then I
long were you
said to
there
him,
for?
turn your phone onto airplane mode
Yeah.
and don't breathe a lot, and take your top off and relax, because we need to, as in take your jumper off. It wasn't that kind of an elevator. So we just wanted to keep the oxygen high. We wanted to just relax, have some just calm breathing. We're in there for, well, Gary, it felt like about an hour, but there was a point where both him and I looked at each other and we really thought this would be the end. Anyway, I got onto Daniel McMucker. Trusty old Daniel McMucker drove to the house where he had a key cut, broke into that house, got the key, came to the house. As he came through the door, the elevator slowly, without pressing any buttons, it just kind of sunk bit by bit to the ground level, and we got out. We may have some footage, and if we do have some footage, it makes
Wow.
me, because I pulled my phone out, we did a bit of a time lapse. This guy, Joel,
that
and
would
I.
be my
so,
worst nightmare. I got claustrophobia. I
Oh,
could not do
look,
that.
there was a moment where I thought
Yeah.
this would be the end, but we got through it, and I made it here on time.
Wow. You know what happened?
Needless to
one of
say,
our-
he's not getting in that elevator ever
You know
again.
what happened to one of our rental people, don't you?
I don't, Gary.
Well, what happened? One of our rental people, if you've got time for a story, folks, and if you haven't, you're not watching anymore anyway. But
Yeah.
they actually
you're
were in
watching, you're-
a new development, hopped in an elevator with a potential tenant, The elevator went down to the basement, locked, no reception, nothing. How bad's that? Happened to Charlotte from, I think it was, from our St Kilda office.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I thought of when I was
I
in
mean, if
this
you're going to get
elevator
stuck
with
in an
him-
elevator, better to get stuck with Charlotte because she's a delightful lady.
Well,
but
I think if you get
better
stuck
than
on your
you.
own, well, you
Yeah.
don't know, Gary. I got some good stories to
But that
tell.
was
that's-
bad.
So I was texting someone, and because I had an appointment at 1 o'clock, and he said, "Oh, well, why don't you ask him if he's got something to sell?" The worst bit about being stuck with him, and it's probably worse for him than it was for me, is that he'd already sold his house with me, so no business there for me.
That's
It was a
terrible.
bloody disaster.
Shall we move on?
We shall, Gary.
What else
'cause
we
I
got
still
coming
have,
up?
The shake.
Well, stay out of elevators with real estate agents. That's all I can say, viewers, because it's not a good scene, unless, of course, it's with one of our lovely rental people, because at
Or
least
me.
with them it's more fun. Just stick with the lovely rental people. We have got a big announcement. Julia and Sasha from the block. who
Australia's
have-
favourite block couple, Gary.
I reckon they are.
Second, combined favourite with Jason and Sarah, to be fair, and Ronnie and George.
We
lovely
have had
people
some
too.
lovely time with those
We
ladies.
have.
And our love affair continues. It's the third sale we've had for them.
Yep.
Because we sold, of course, the
Acacia
Acacia Street home to
to
Sam
the,
Wood.
The Bachelor.
The Bachelor with Snezana, I think her name is.
Schneezana,
That
I
beautiful
believe
lady.
is how you pronounce it.
We then sold for the block. Now we have the end of the trilogy completes here. Well, we hope it won't be the end, but this is
Well, it
their
may be, Gary,
creation.
because they're moving to the States.
Yeah, they'll be back. This is their creation. We call it Little Willow.
We do.
Take us through this property at 7 Willow Street,
Gary,
Elsternwick.
this is as good a house as you'll find. I helped them purchase this home some years ago.
You did?
I can tell you no expense was spared on this home.
No.
Just like that engine on that motorbike.
Exactly
no
right.
expense was spared. It is gorgeous. Got a beautiful lilac door. There is a video that you should probably, if you get an opportunity, jump on our website and have a look
Yeah.
at that video.
Well, we've got a
'cause
little
I'll
bit
take you
going-
through it.
we've got a bit going over the screen
Yeah, but
now.
the
It's
whole
okay.
thing was it was a good video.
it's 4
and,
minutes, not too long.
Not too long.
Doesn't get boring.
No, nothing gets boring in 4 minutes, Gary. But beautifully put together. Kitchen like you've never seen.
Auction date on the screen coming up in a few weeks. Don't forget it.
It is, Gary.
Be there,
Auction at
see
1:30.
it. Something exceptional.
Yes,
We're excited about
it is, Gary.
And
I'm excited.
we've got another once-in-a-lifetime offering here. This is these two properties, 3 and 5 Holroyd Avenue.
Yes.
This is something to behold, something very rare. Two great properties and a great address. Take us through these.
Well,
two.
this address, Gary, is as good as it gets, just near our office off
agree with you.
Orrong Road. This is East St
Indeed.
Kilda's finest, Gary. It's on
Yep.
the cusp of so many different
We're
suburbs.
blessed. We're blessed to sell some of the best real estate in the world.
So whether it's home number 5 at 1.9 to 2,000,009, or whether it's home number 3 at 1.8 to 1.98, or whether you're brave enough to buy the 2 and just put yourself into this lovely address here, these homes are ripe and ready to go. Thula, which is number 5, is a beautiful home. And of course, number 3 is ready to renovate, rebuild, develop, or invest, or do whatever you like, because this is an address that's blue chip as it gets, Gary.
Fantastic.
Talking of blue chip property, Gary,
Got a great apartment in Carlisle Street, Mr. Rosens. Take us through this one.
I
4 at
think
60.
great sun's underselling it, Gary. This is Older Star Charm at its best in one of the
Indeed.
best locations in St Kilda. A stone's throw from the beach, Luna Park, and famed Ackland Street. This is ground level living, courtyard deck apartment, older style,
Well.
350 to 385. It's superb buying, Gary.
We look forward to getting that one off
Absolutely.
and done. And then we go to Windsor, just as hop's given a jump from our St Kilda office, just over the other side.
I used to live in
Ellesmere
this.
Road.
I used to live here, Gary.
Is that right? Well,
I
it's
used to
gone
live
up a
here.
lot
Now
since
that
you've
I've
moved
left,
out, no
things
doubt.
have moved on. That's
For
a
sure.
lovely little one-bedroom, one
Ellesmere
bathroom
Road.
there. 350 to
Prestigious
385.
address. Yes.
One of the best floor plans that you'll find, Gary, in a one-bedroom, because everything is separate: kitchen, living, bedroom, bathroom, the whole lot. It's a great home.
Loving it. Exciting opportunities, great real estate, great
Gary,
property,
there is
great
something
news,
I want to
good
talk
market.
about. I want to talk about it. It's not the market. It's about what's happening in St Kilda, because something came across my desk the other day.
Yes.
About what's happening in the Palais Theatre, Gary. I know you're a man that loves
I'm
music.
going to the Palais Theatre very soon.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
going
Well,
to
you're
see.
not the
it's
main
called
act, though, Gary.
It's called the Apia concert. I'm going to see. Anyone ever heard of these people? Marsha Hines, John Paul Young,
Nope.
Leo Sayer,
Negative.
Brian Cadd, and Russell Morris. And I'm going to be in musical heaven.
Well, Gary, if you
Got
want to
some
step
more
back in
music news,
time-
by the way, as well. Before we go,
We
on.
do have
Yeah.
some more music news, but this
Yep.
is some other music news, because Jimmy
Yes.
Barnes is going to bring
Hey.
his working class man. You know, it's funny that Jimmy
love
Barnes
Jimmy
is playing
Barnes.
there, Gary. It's funny that you love him, because
my
we
hood.
often refer to you as the Jimmy Barnes of
I am
auctioneers.
the Julie Comes real estate.
Not because you
Yeah.
scream,
No.
not because your music's not that great,
Well,
not
I'm in
because
touch-
you're an Australian
no,
icon.
Because I'm authentic and I'm in touch with real people.
No, because you're a working class man.
I am, and proud of it, by the way.
Ho, 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 you're a working class man.
I'm a working class Santa man, by the sound of the ho,
that
ho.
was a bit Christmassy, wasn't it?
Now, we've got
Some
another...
other music news, Gary.
We've got a...
Hot
we
off
are-
the press.
We are selling a property for my music idol. What can I say? I'm out of words. We're selling the home of Ross and Tanya Wilson. And Tanya's daughter, the beautiful Olympia Valance. Wow.
She's a stunner.
So she is a stunner.
Almost as stunning as his music,
But I've
Gary.
got to tell you, nothing's as stunning as Ross Wilson's music. He is of course, the founder or one of the main icons of Daddy Cool, then Mondo Rock.
Daddy Cool.
I mean,
it's like everything that you're saying.
when I was like 12 years old,
here we go.
and they had Sunbury, which you've probably never heard of, which
It's
was
a suburb, mate, just near the airport.
Sunbury was the equivalent of Woodstock.
Yeah.
I wanted to go
But
then.
not.
I wanted to go then because Daddy Cool was on stage. I think they booed off. I can't remember. I think the Rolling Stones were there, and I think a few other rock and roll stars. But I think they booed off Queen. I think they were on there as well.
Well, they're about
But
to
I gotta
boo
tell
us
you-
off, Gary.
But I've got to tell you what, Ross Wilson was there with Daddy Cool, the icon of Melbourne music. We're selling his home. Here's some images of it. It's in Bayside Street in Elsternwick, and we are so excited
Well,
about
I think
this.
you'd probably be
Can't
misleading the buyers, Gary, if you send them to Bayside Street. We should call it Bayview Street, if I'm not mistaken. But
believe it.
anyway,
Yeah, you're probably right. Should
that's,
be
you're
called.
just talking about Bayside.
The
I
address,
understand.
the address is up. There's a Bayside, Bayview, Bay theme
Yes.
today on the show.
I'll tell you what
but,
was really funny,
yeah.
Gary, when he was, and this is, when he was signing the paperwork, you're supposed to hand the signed contract between you and the vendor
Agent,
to
yeah.
our sales secretary. You're not supposed to take it home, frame it as a Ross Wilson
I
autograph.
did, put
It
it-
was
yeah.
pathetic last night when you sat next to him during our vendor evening and
was so excited.
just pandered to his every need.
Oh, I
and
was
got
so
him water
excited. I
and
didn't.
coffees
I
and
was.
teas.
Well,
and
you know
it
what
was
can I
a bit-
say? I've got an infatuation with the guy because he's the greatest musical influence in the world, as far as I'm concerned. There's no one better anywhere on the planet than Ross Wilson. Anyway, his house is good too, so come along and see it. But that's a big wrap. We've got the block, we've got the Block Girls, we've got Ross Wilson, we've got
Elevators,
Jimmy Barnes coming with
Elevator Love.
elevators, and that's a bit about the market, which is still going along well as we're
Going
going
well,
into a very busy May, one of the busiest months of the year.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you out at our auctions or open inspections, or if you want to do something in Kilda Bayside, speak to this man or myself or whoever you'd like to,
Or
as
anyone
long
else
as they're
for
at
that
Gary Pearl and Associates.
Correct.
I'm Gary Pearl.
I'm Jeremy Roses. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.